I'd like to welcome everyone to a fresh episode of the Just Your Everyday Athlete series. I'm here with a special guest. For those that are only viewing this for the first time, this podcast here is a platform to really make a bridge of conversation between people that are working daily basis with their own craft. It can be sporting athletes, can be chefs, can be artists, can be musicians. If you have anyone that you can suggest that would be interested in being part of it, comment them down below and would really be keen to continue to share other people's stories and have this conversation because I think it's very valuable to bring some light to topics that may be unspoken. But anyways, I wanted to really introduce our special guest for today, Robyn Brown, all the way from Los Angeles. So thank you for joining us for this special episode.
Thanks for having me.
Woo! And so, Robyn, for the viewers out there that may not know you personally, can you share with them a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Robyn Brown. I am a 400-meter hurdler for the Philippine national team. I have had the opportunities so far to step on the world stage through track and field. I've been running professionally for about 5 years now. Um, Stepped on as a professional athlete in 2019. So it's definitely exciting to be here.
Amazing, amazing. And so, Robyn, your background is world you compete in is the 400-meter hurdle. I'm curious to hear first, I guess, for the audience that may be in the beginning stages or as a kid, doing because in Australia they call it little A's or little athletics, and then they have that program. But if they want to, enter the highest, which is what you're doing, the world stage, what would the steps to becoming a professional like for you?
Yeah. For me, it was continuing to have fun. I pursued track and field. Well, I found out about track and field, I guess it would be considered fairly late. I started in high school, my senior year in high school, I started hurdling, but I found out about track and field my freshman year, and I kind of just never went back. I was just like, I love this. I tried soccer before, and I was like, I kind of like running, and I've gotten comments about how fast I am on the field. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. And I just fell in love with it. I um loved the aspect of being and on a team, but also running individual events. And then me figuring that out a little bit later, I went to junior college, and my whole pursuit was just for me to simply get my school paid for. That was like my number one goal. And after 2 years in junior college, I had the opportunity to get a scholarship for the University of Hawaii. And it was fun. It was like a crazy ride. Definitely something I wasn't planning on, but I enjoyed every single minute of it. And it was a dream then to just think like, man, I got my school paid for and I get to do something that I love. And um, then after I graduated, I was like, I'm not done. And I was trying to figure out ways that I can still pursue my dream. And then my sister at the time ran for, or she competed on the Philippine national soccer team. And I saw how much passion she had for soccer since she was like 5 years old. And I was like, well, I have that in my heart. And I went from there and I was like, this is incredible to travel the world and do something that I still love to this day. But obviously, with those steps comes humility and discipline. And I feel like to become a professional athlete, you need aspects just like that, self accountability, discipline, and learning to say no to certain things or certain events just because you know how much time it takes to recover, how much time it takes to compete, and missing out on opportunities like that for a bigger end goal is exactly what I think many professionals do. In a sense, in many talks, professional athletes, even Kobe Bryant, when he talked about the cases of where he had to miss his children's events and what have you. It's similar among everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 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 special. And I think fun fact for those that don't know, Robyn, she is one of three girls, and all your sisters and your including yourself all represent the Philippines in their respective sports. And yeah, you just ended up there with a big idol, sporting idol of mine, Kobe Bryant, which I think, yeah, like you said, really was a big separator. Pioneered the hard work paying off, and I think that's a sacrifice that all athletes need to make. And I was curious to hear as well about your background. So being half Filipino and half African American, and how that has played, and why have you considered the path of representing the Philippines in your sport?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something that I've closely identified with. I spent a lot of time predominantly with my family on my mom's side. My mom is Filipina. And growing up, her showing her culture within us, sharing her culture, cooking Filipino food all the time when we were growing up. And then her always wanting us to be around our family and different events, such as Philippine cultural nights we had at church. We also participated in a lot of other events, and it was just being around that really showed where I'm from and who I'm from. So choosing the Philippines only felt right in my heart, and I've always been proud of it.
Mhm. That's amazing. Um, and I think it's very it's very it's so awesome to hear about there's someone representing the Philippines from America, and then I guess for myself in the pursuit to represent Philippines in from as being a Filipino from Australia. What we have in common, like within athletes in any sporting field, is the types of struggles. Has there been certain struggles or obstacles within your life, and how have you been able to combat that and overcome? 'Cause, yeah, I feel like this topic of conversation isn't what people are talking about. So let's start a
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, living in the States, living in California, it's it's different. You're not around. I'm not around the Filipino culture all the time. Especially living in California, I've had the opportunity to be around a lot of cultures, a lot of people with different backgrounds. So being immersed in a lot of that and being around Filipino communities has been great. Especially here in California, I feel like there's a big Filipino base out here that I've been so grateful for. But also growing up half Filipino and half Black, it's been hard for me to figure out who I am and what I am, I guess, in a sense. Me not growing up not knowing Tagalog, never been taught to, well, not to say I've never been taught Tagalog, I have been, but I eventually um, stopped learning it. My mom decided to kind of just let go. So me not learning Tagalog and not being able to speak to my cousins that know Tagalog fluently. Me myself, it's been definitely been a struggle to figure out the parts of me of who I am, especially in a place where they judge for what you look like over where you come from. So I feel like that's definitely, I think something that still holds close to me that I'm still trying to figure out too. But knowing who I am and being holding strong to that is definitely something that's been helping me through this. Yeah.
It sounds like to what you're saying, being a mixed race, that there's sort of yeah, there's the identity struggle, but also with representing. the Philippines, is having an imposter syndrome. Like, oh, I'm not as Filipino enough. Like, why should I be doing and participating in representing my sport in this? But you still continue to choose to do it anyways, as you feel that it's your pride. It's doing a service, for the community, and also I think what's great is you're doing this for yourself, but also you're inspiring new people, but as well you're doing paying homage to those in the past too, that might have paved the way as well for you. So it's
To ask you lastly is the idea of this social media generation that we're living in and how that in fact affects you as an athlete, both in a positive and negative way. If you can share a little bit about your experience with that.
Yeah, it's definitely inspiring in the avenues. If you follow along the algorithm, it can take you to great paths, but at the same time, it can take you towards deep paths.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be used in a positive way. It can help um, boost your confidence. It can help you. Well, for me, it's helped me. I feel resonate with other athletes. I see other people's stories. I'm like, okay, they're going through the same thing I'm going through. I'm not alone in this. If they can get through it, I can get through it. If I can show that I'm getting through it, maybe that will influence someone else to get through their day-to-day basis as well. Um, Stepping on and off the track is just something that definitely um, it's a safe space for me. I know that a lot of people want to see um, what what I do on and off the track. And in the same case, this can be definitely a distraction in many ways. Just being on your phone, it can be distracting and it can take away, your set goals, whether it's daily or weekly. But for me, it's a balance like anything in life. And using it um, as a positive tool is, I feel like, something that I have to um, move on a day-to-day basis as well.
Yeah, you Robin like your account and then from then on I was like, oh, we need to connect and keep in touch because I guess there's very rare instances, well in my personal experience, that you get to connect with someone that's representing the Philippine team and also that's taking it to the level that you are. So it's really inspiring for me and I hope for all the viewers out there that are watching and tuning in to this video. I guess lastly, very last thing is to ask you is if there was something, the last piece of advice that you could share with the world, what would that be? And also asking about what advice would you give to your younger self?
Yeah, it would have to be success isn't linear. Success may seem linear to a lot of people. Many people may seem to um, win golds or what have you right off the bat. They may have one try and they can go on the course and just be like, hey, that's it. Like people might be on the podium at their first try for a lot of people, but success isn't linear. And I feel like everyone's paths are different. And um, not comparing myself to other people, I think would be the major thing to remind my younger self just to stay true to who you are, and that in itself will take you so much further than where you want to go.
I love the like there's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy, and I think that's
Mm.
very prominent with especially athletes because I guess it is enhanced with the online space that you can see, maybe you see your competitors or even other athletes that are accomplishing these exceptional things that you can rub that off in the wrong way and sort of
Mhm.
feel that you're not worth enough or that you're because you're not there your accomplishments aren't
Don't matter as
you
much.
compare, yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter as much exactly.
to identify that within this past year with the achievements that I've been able to accomplish and some of the goals that I've been able to complete. And it was a long journey for me just to even get to where I was last year. 5 years, maybe one good year out of the four. So it was, it's definitely hard to pull yourself away from your accomplishments. Yes, I'm not defined by the time that I ran, by my placement. And knowing that and being like I'm Robyn Brown, I'm not 56. That's just something that I accomplished to do. It's hard. It's challenging, but identifying that, like you said to begin with, I feel like would be is something that I would have all athletes sit on and reflect on as they train, as they compete at any level, not only professionally, but no matter which level they're at.
Fine black and white answer to that, right? It's a
Yeah.
constant process that we have to deal with, and I love how you mentioned that it's in all levels, not only the professional and the highest, but even local or state, or it's very easily we can we can question ourselves, and because
Hmm.
we lose, oh, we feel like a loser in life, almost like this.
Yeah.
And so like I feel right now there's a lot of things going on with my backgrounds, and I think it's also important to mention that doing things without it being perfect, just doing them anyways. I think it's
Mhm.
very important that as an athlete, maybe you can testify with that a little bit too, that even though you aren't feeling the most ideal body or whatever factor that may look like, you continue to show up for yourself and for your community. So yeah, if you could share a little bit of that, and where we can find you um online, or where the viewers can catch up with you and maybe have a conversation with you too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Funny you say that. My coach loves to say, have a good, bad day. Just give it 100% of the percent that you have. So go in at 100% with the 70% you have, bring it in, and regardless of the fact that you're may have been at 100%, it still goes into the bank. Just that. But if anyone would like to talk to me, I am definitely on social media. You can reach into my DMs. I'm definitely open to um, helping anyone pursue their goals, whether they have any questions to ask me. I'm definitely here for it. I think part of the reason why I wanted to do this is to inspire the people and let them know that, like, hey, it is possible. It's something that you can do. And I'd love to help in any sort of way. I can probably send you my email address if anyone wants to reach out as well. And yeah, I'm definitely open to helping the community out, anyone that's interested and has questions.
The only guys the footage that we have on camera, but I've been talking to Robyn for quite a bit now, and there's so many things that we've been able to uncover with each other, and I think hope you guys did get some wisdom, get some inspiration on taking action within your life too, whether whatever craft that may be. I think it's very important that get to look at this project not as we're comparing, we're trying to look better and one up each other, but it's a celebration, I think, to make the stories of each other known, and to say that, like I said in the beginning, the prime intention is to give some light to issues, topics that may not be as spoken enough in person or even online. So I really appreciate you, Robyn, for being part of today's episode. And I look forward to this beautiful friendship we have going on, and all the best with the Olympic career. Yeah, I don't think we've got to mention as well, but what are your goals for this year and what the future will look like for you? Just brief.
Yeah, definitely. To qualify for the Olympics, definitely has been one of the biggest dreams of mine. So this is the year. Other than that, that's just the one of the main goals. That's pretty much one of the main competitions that we have for our team. So Paris, and then beyond that will be indoors, but definitely excited. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited for you, and we'll be paying attention online and seeing what stories and reels that you'll be posting. But again, a big thank you, guys. Uh, comment down below what your takeaway was from today's video. Like, share, comment down already. Subscribe to the video, and hope you guys can stay tuned for the next person that will join in. And keep smiling, keep training hard as always, and see you guys in the next video. See you.
We only have 1 minute to
Oh.
go with the recording. So